change the tide. And I'm sorry if my head goes from time to time. And I'm sorry if I lose control of my mind, but I miss you, and I need you all the time.
Tunge! Tunge! Get me out of there, you. Go, Brave. I'm having a panic attack.
What are you doing?
Get me out. I've got the belly cramp. Oh, my God. Oh, God. What?
Yeah?
Can I remind you that this particular part of your benefits is called Job Seekers Allowance? That means you have to actually be seeking a job.
Oh, Mrs. Tipton, welcome to Sedgley Plastics. And I'd like to kick off by asking if you've got any experience at all of the plastic injection moulding industry.
No.
The employer says from this that you didn't project a positive image at the interview.
Then prejudice.
No, they just won't give the jobs to the people that don't actually want them.
Customer sales, any experience there?
No.
Bookkeeping?
No. There ain't no job.
There are jobs. I've got a computer full of them.
I don't like computers.
IT skills?
No.
Right, look, I'm trying to help you here. Unless you apply for 3 jobs a week, then your benefit could be in jeopardy.
Tell me a little bit about your experience in the general office environment.
I ain't got none. I have applied.
Right, but they're not really realistic, are they? I mean, the chances are you're not going to get interviews for these jobs.
Well, that ain't my fault.
Right. To be a vet, Mrs. Tipton, you actually have to have qualifications.
Have you done any photocopying?
No.
Are you willing to learn?
Bus driver? You can't actually drive, can you?
No.
Right, so why did you apply for that?
Well, then prejudice.
They're not prejudiced.
It's because I'm a woman.
No, it's because you can't drive. There are plenty of women bus drivers.
Can you drive a forklift truck?
This is a real job. This is for a packing firm.
Packing what?
Shoes.
I like shoes.
Well, there you go. You'll have put shoes into boxes before, won't you? So you've got experience.
Yeah, but what about my wrist?
What about it?
Well, I sprained it this morning, look. And
well, look, it's not going to be like that forever, is it?
Yeah, but it keeps going like.
Okay. Right. Why don't you tell me what job you could do?
I could do your job.
I would love you to do my job.
How much do you get paid?
Not nearly enough, believe me.
People say that it's easy living off benefits. Well, all right then. Like it pays the rent and the food bill, the taxes and the sky bill. But I mean, some days I'll get exhausted just taking the cheque out of the envelope. I tell you now, the government have got to sort it out quick, or there's going to be more riots.
Well, your 2 kids was very keen to join the protest, weren't they, Dor?
The problem is I blame the police, you know.
Oh.
They've got no respect for young people these days. And I'm sorry, but I've got to say it. I blame the parents. You know, the parents of the police.
Oh, yes,
yes,
exactly.
I think it's ever so sad, you know, that it had to come to that. You know, smashing windows and looting. Nobody wanted that, did they?
No.
Well, except your Jack. Well, he started up his own business.
Oh, did he?
You know, boarding up.
The idea for the boarding up business, well, that come from a friend of mine who was, he was boarding up.
And I say good luck to him, because he's using his head, ain't he?
Oh?
I thought I could do that. Started my own business. For a couple of days, anyway.
Well, I mean, say the government, they want entrepreneurs, don't they?
Oh.
But I mean, when her Jack went to the bank for a loan for his van to start his business...
You listen to what they said?
They said you've got to put the house up for cholesterol.
Collateral?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh.
And what did he say? He said,
fuck off.
Exactly. Sort of encouragement's that.
I'd turn me hand to anything, me. I don't like sitting idle.
Mind you, he couldn't have done it any road.
Who couldn't do what?
Jack, he couldn't put the house up for the loan because it's rented.
Oh, I blame the bankers.
Oh, don't get me started on the bank.
Right, it's the bankers that have got us in this mess we in today.
Fat
They're
cats.
trying on
You're
society.
Yeah.
Topping
Yes.
those bastards. That's what they are.
I mean, they're out of touch, are they, with working people, like Doris.
It's that sort of thing that riles people in this country. The haves and the have-nots.
I mean,
Right.
if you took, say, a typical banker's bonus, it'd keep us lot going for a month.
Oh,
Easy.
Easy.
Doris is my ironing lady, and it comes in like on a Wednesday and a Friday
And a Tuesday.
and a Monday to help me with the washing.
And the hoovering.
It's as good as gold.
Doreen's got enough to cope with, what with her syndrome and everything. So I like to be a good neighbour. Finding the time's hard enough.
How do you find the time, Doris?
I've had to get somebody in to do my ironing.
Lazy cow syndrome is a bit of a dilemma in the medical profession, if I'm honest. We're scientists, you know, we like to understand things, to label them and to find cures.
The therapist's been a real good help to me and all. But I mean, he's been off for 3 months. He's been off with depression.
Lazy cow syndrome is not a physical condition. There's no trauma, no infection, no disease to fight, but it does have physical manifestations. Problem is, it's not a mental condition either, not in any conventional sense. There are no associated mood swings.
Just bugger off! Going round your bloody cage!
No evidence of clinical depression.
I went to the doctor, because like I was fed up. And I asked him if he could upgrade me to bipolar.
And crucially, no learning difficulties. In fact, the government has done some fairly sophisticated social testing around this principle. And people like Doreen, well, you know, they learn very quickly.
I'm just like any other parent. You know, I just want the best for me kids.
Mom, can I get a new phone?
You've just had one.
Trojan flushed it down the loo.
Why? And I do it on purpose.
That's what you said about the cat.
Trowage gave the cat drugs. Then it committed suicide.
It slipped off the roof.
Trowage, cats don't slip off roofs unless they're off their heads.
But it was my cat any road.
That don't give you the right to kill it.
I didn't kill it. Mother, will you tell her?
Don't throw you two. Tange, it was an old cat.
It was an alive cat.
For God's sake, I'll nick you another one.
Won't be like Minxie.
Better than Minxie.
In what way?
Well, it'll be alive for a start.
The kids, they've been really supportive. I mean, my eldest, Trojan, has just had a beautiful kid, Taser. And I mean, it all helps, don't it? Bringing in a bit of income when you've got mouths to feed.
It'll be water. Can I ask your auntie Tammy?
And my youngest, Tangerine, her helps out with like a bit of retail work, bit of shoplifting. But I mean, they've even started to clamp down on that now. I mean, I think the fine's gone up to about 250, which I mean, if you're caught, that wipes out a day's takings.
Happy birthday, Mum.
It's a bloody foot spa. What use is that?
Why?
Well, I Miriam had one of these and then only used it once.
Well, I didn't know, did I?
You could take that back.
I ain't taking it back, Mum. I nicked it.
Take it back to the shop and get your money back.
Well, I've ditched the box and I ain't got a receipt.
Well, tell them it was an unwanted gift.
They won't believe me.
Of course they bloody will, it's a foot spa.
I'm banned in that shop, Mum.
Well, we'll have to put it in the car boot. But I'll tell you something, we're going to lose money on that.
Got you a card now.
I believe in love, but this is all too much.
Well, don't get all upset. I written it.
I'm drowning in your lot of love, but I swim fast against the tide. But I'm sorry if my head goes from time to time, and I'm sorry if I lose control of my life, but I miss you. And I need you all the time.
I mean, at the end of the day, them just kids, are they? And they want stuff, and that's natural. But I mean, say like our Tangerine, is going out for a 3D television. I've told her, no way. I mean, it's going to have to wait for like the January sales, because it's all about priorities.
What Mum don't seem to realise is that January is 6 months away, so by then everyone's going to have 4D tellies.
5D?
Yeah.
£2,000 for the 60-inch with surround sound. I mean, that's a big chunk out like the weekly allowance. I mean, it's like 2,000 scratch cards, any of which could land you a biggie. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
We're always like a step behind.
Tangerine, I'm sorry to say, has come bottom of the class.
Out of how many?
32.
Well, that ain't that bad, is it? I mean, I was bottom of the class out of 45. I mean, it's obviously upset, you know, because I really wanted to go to uni.
You can get like thousands on a student loan now, and you don't have to pay it back till you've got a job. So like, never.
I think education's a really important part of the, you know, a person's education.
I hate it.
I think it's doing ever so well.
Where do I start? Okay. Punctuality.
Well, it's never been any good at grammar. Well, I mean, say I look at our Trowage. I mean, her's been out of school now for 4 years.
Well, a bit longer than that if you count the truancy.
Yeah, and I mean, what chance has her got of getting a job, even if it applied for one?
None.
Well, let's face it, we all know why, don't we?
Why?
Her timekeeping isn't very good, is it?
Well, are I interested?
Right. It's just that school starts at 9 a.m. on a Monday, and we don't see Tangerine until 2 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Well, I'll get out of bed.
Right. Do you make her get out of bed, Mrs. Tipton?
Have you seen the size of her? I'm really proud of Tange, because there's like the first of our generation to be awarded special educational needs.
It's simply unacceptable that in the 21st century that the Ofsted report of an otherwise satisfactory school like Sandwell Permanent High should be damaged by the performance of students who simply need an appropriate acronym.
I mean, the school tested her for dyslexia.
Yeah, they asked me to spell dyslexia. Like, duh.
I went to see her get a certificate, and I was really proud.
These young people need to be properly labelled and resourced.
They got me a speech therapist, like, to help with me spelling and that. So, like, I know now that there's a T at the end of cat, and, like, there's loads of T's in the word tattoo, and stuff like that.
We're making good progress, but there's still a lot that needs to be done, and, well, I won't rest until all of my students have special needs.
But, I mean, the system's not right. I mean, they got the extra funding, but it don't come to the family that earned it. No, it goes to the school.
Does she read much when she's at home?
I likes Viz.
The Viz?
And I likes that Hello magazine.
Shakespeare?
No, nothing for him.
Mum wants me to apply for some other syndromes, but I don't know.
I reckon as borderline hamburgers, because I have real trouble with her some days.
Slow down and crush the block, Lewis bloody Hamilton! Come back, you bugger!
I got your own, didn't I?
But I mean, I do agree. But it looks good on your CV, don't it?
I used to be a teacher, but no, I took early retirement. Through stress. Full pension. I would have been 28.
I missed out when I was younger. So I insist that Tange goes to school now and again.
Kids today, I mean, there's no discipline, is there?
Discipline is very important to us.
Even the teachers can't lay a finger on them. And for me, it just took all the fun out of it.
We operate a zero tolerance policy on drugs. It's 3 strikes and you get a written warning.
2 written warnings, you get a sticker.
3 stickers and we get really tough.
I was barred from a maths lesson. As you can imagine, I was gutted.
And typically at this stage we tell the parent or guardian or significant adult, and sometimes we contact the police, who I believe have their own sticker system, particularly if the child's been dealing.
Yeah, the school motto is Omnis puer est Paulo Stella. Every child's a little star. Oh yeah, right. Even the little bastard that set fire to my car.
It's about challenging the accepted norms of teaching. It's the little things like, well, simply by turning the pupil-teacher ratio on its head, we've had some amazing results. We're running a pilot at the moment where typically we'd have around 12 teachers to each student, and the results speak for themselves. Reoffending is down 5% and attainment targets was up marginally, and teachers are able to take holidays in term time. It is a win-win situation. I don't understand why the government isn't rolling this out nationally.
Yeah, I have special needs. Who doesn't? We all have needs, don't we? I do. You do. And it's all right, eh, for the politician, sitting up there in his ivory TARDIS. They ain't got a clue, have they, about the ordinary woman in the street or like on the sofa. They want to try and come and live here with my daughters. They won't be so bloody smug then.
I believe in fate, but this is all too much.
Well, everybody's too scared to say it. But you've got to blame the foreigners.
I wonder if they'd be so keen to get in the country if there was a bit more vetting on the borders. Get the old marigolds out.
You can't say that these days. You can't say that. No, you can't. You only have to open your mouth and you're accused of being a rapist.
No, but look, we all know we're living in the 20th century.
Yes.
Like in a diverted and multifunctional society.
Well, I ain't got a problem with that.
No.
I think it's great that you've got the Indians down the road.
The Indian restaurant down the road.
And the Chinese.
Yes, and you can't expect them to commute, can you?
And I need you all the time.
I tell you now, somebody's going to have to pull the finger out. There's another pile over there, Doris.